the Andrew Lake Podcast.
Now in collaboration with Acid Quote Tees.
Feel the rhythm now.
10,000 years!
All connected.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the Andrew Lake Podcast. Shout out to Texas. Just because I can see this guy across the road, he's wearing a t-shirt, it says I love Texas on it. I always loved that joke when we were kids, when someone would say something is big, and then another person would say, they got bigger in Texas. Right? Whenever anyone saw like a big car or a big truck and, you know, or someone was having like a big drink of something, you know, like a big hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate, by the way. I actually had one just before. That might be why I'm feeling so happy. But anyway, it's always the same. They say, wow, that's a big truck. And then there's always someone. There's just something, like, even if there's no one around, someone pops out of the corner and just says, they got bigger in Texas. I remember when we went to visit Uluru, Central Australia, the iconic Uluru, that big, a monument of nature, a monument of the dreaming times. Anyway, someone said, that's a big rock. And of course, even then, someone had to say, they got bigger in Texas. Anyway, shout out to Texas. Coming up in this episode, we've got a little bit of a psychological analysis. We're going to go into a exploration of ego development, and we're going to look at what it means to see yourself from a number of different perspectives and how that relates to your ego structure, your identity structure. But first, let's get into the quote of the day, the acid quote of the day. Nudity has multiple levels. Now, this is related to what I'd like to talk about, which is some psychological analysis. But before we do, let me just say a little bit of a story of how this quote came to me, the situation in which I realized. So I was on the beach, as I often am, have been, will do, times, and I'm enjoying the sun and it's a beautiful day and there's people around, and this gorgeous, gorgeous girl walks right up along and sets up right across. And I can see her from a distance. It's not an awkward distance. It's just a little bit of a way. And she lays down her towel and she puts down her bag and she starts taking her clothes off. And she takes off her jacket and she takes off her shirt and then she takes off her sandals and she slips down out of her pants. And she has got a gorgeous body. I mean, she is just beautiful, just slim and fit and voluptuous and soft. And she's got this long, glowing blonde hair. She is just the epitome of a beach babe. And as she's slipping off her pants, I can see that she is, in fact, wearing a bikini that is skin-coloured. And as, of course, I'm sort of trying to watch and sort of trying not to draw too much attention to myself of watching, I noticed that, well, this skin-coloured bikini, if just looking at a glance, it looks like she's naked, right? If you just look in a second, you think, oh, is she naked? My goodness, a sexy naked lady, right? But then, of course, you realize, oh, no, it's just a bikini. Now, of course, at some circumstances, on certain beaches in Australia, there are nude beaches, and nudity is sort of, I think nudity is less common in Australia than in Europe and other places, but, you know, it's still sort of a thing. And, of course, I wouldn't have complained if she was nude. No complaints here, of course. No problem with a bit of eye candy now and then. So anyway, she sets up and she puts some coconut oil on and she's glowing and she's gorgeous and she lies down to do some sunbaking. And as she's there and I'm sort of looking around, continuing to enjoy my day, people would walk past, you know, some guy with his kids or someone walking the dogs. And every time they walked past this woman, I could see that there was this moment, right, where it's like they sort of glance at her and then like they're a bit, or like they're taken aback. They're a bit like, what? Hang on, what's going on here? Then they realize a second after that, oh, wait, no, it's just a skin-colored bikini. She's not actually naked, right? So then it occurred to me that, well, I mean, for that second where they don't realize she's wearing a bikini, she may as well be naked. Of course, because no one would complain that, no one would complain if she took it off and she actually was naked. So, I mean, what's the difference? There are levels to it, right? There are levels to nudity. And I mean, if she took her bikini off and then she sat down right next to someone and she was flaunting her body right in front of someone, that would be another level again. You could even say that, well, is the coconut oil a level? Like, is she more naked or less naked if she's got coconut oil on? And, well, that could be tricky as well, because if you're wearing the coconut oil, you're more shiny, you're more bright, you're more sort of radiant. You've got that sort of beach glow to you. So maybe you're more naked with coconut oil than less. So that's just a cute little story of how this realization came to me that nudity has multiple levels. And I was taking this as an idea and I thought, well, what if we take that further? Like, what does it mean to really remove something from yourself to be able to see a part that's closer to the real you? A part that's closer to your essence, your truth, your authentic nature. And I thought about all the awareness intensives that I've done and the groups that I've done, groups like Mystic Rose, where this amazing occurrence can happen where you see someone in all their beauty and glory, and you see them so deeply simply because they have destroyed all that is fake, all that is frivolous, all that is broken, all that is worn out. And of course, this is done through a process. This is done through a series of sessions, and it's a constructed thing that happens with a facilitator. So it's quite an involved thing, but it lends itself for these beautiful experiences where you can see someone, and also for someone to see you, to actually stand before someone and speak your truth, and to be able to say, yes, this is true, this is resonating, and to see that they do understand. It's a beautiful thing. And perhaps Mystic Rose is one of the most powerful things, that can work towards this, one of the most powerful awareness intensives I've done. So if we want to take a little bit of a psychological analysis at this, it works a little bit like this. And this is the sort of metaphor that I've come up with to explain this. Say you have a person or an animal and you put a mirror in front of them. Then, depending on their cognitive development, how old they are, they're going to look at the mirror and they're going to recognize, that's me. That looks interesting. They might, see how their hair is, and they'll become disinterested. They'll go and do something else. Now, of course, at some cognitive levels of development, they might not even recognize that it is them, right? Some monkeys, some birds, some animals just think that's another monkey, that's another bird. And they might even start to attack the mirror. And of course, even lower, they might not even recognize the mirror at all. They might just see it as a blurry object. Now, that's more of a matter of perception as well. So anyway, we've got this mirror and we've got this animal. We'll say that it's a monkey or a person. Not much difference between the two in some circles. And that's one level. Another level would be, now let's say instead of a mirror, we have a camera and we film this person or this monkey and they do some things and then we show them the video. Now, of course, if you do that, you can do this with your own phone now. Everyone's got access to cameras now. When you do this the first time, it's interesting. It's like, whoa, that's what I look like. That's what I did. This is how I act. I've never seen myself from this angle. And there's an interest in it, right? There's a reflection or a kind of part of it that impresses upon your understanding of yourself. But then, of course, eventually you're going to be like, okay, that's a video of me. Maybe I can make some more. Maybe I can make it into a hobby. Or maybe it is just something that, that's something that happens. Now, another level, third level, what we can do is get this video of you and show it to other people. And you can watch their reaction to it. And there may be a number of different reactions. Now, depending on, of course, on what you're doing in this video, there's going to be, let's just say it's a wide range of reactions. So some people like it and they're entertained and they laugh and they think, wow, what an interesting person. And some people are outraged. They say, that is wrong, that is bad. I don't like this person. And everything in between. There's a whole range of impacts and reactions. Now that complex, that sphere of these reactions is going to impress upon your self-image of what kind of person you are. Now, it might impress in a way that you deny certain things. It might be that you incorporate certain things. Now, of course, there is the tendency for us to say that, well, the good things, that's me, and the bad things, that's not me. The bad people, the people that see me as bad, they just don't understand, and they don't understand the real me. They don't know the real me. And the people that see me as good, well, they're the real ones that are close to me, right? So there is that self-bias there. And you can see that this is very much the situation that we're in. In our technological age, in our informational sphere, we have this kind of complex around us, this kind of understanding. Now, of course, there is more to it than just mirrors, cameras, and people's reactions to videos. We have our development of who we are through a collection of feedbacks of what we're being told that we are, and of also a collection of the desires and wants and beliefs about ourselves. And this is tricky because they are added up by smaller things, right? When you're a child, you say, I want to drink something, I want to eat something, I want to play a game, I want to watch this movie. There's these little things that come up one at a time as this feeling within you, as this desire within your body, and it builds up to a collection of wants and desires, right? This sphere that sits in your background understanding of yourself. And further still, you have the things that you identify with, like this is my body, this is my foot, this is my hand, this is my face. And that would be a foundational level of the body, or beyond that, you would say, this is my idea, this is my toy, this is my space, this is my bed, and then you're moving it to larger objects and physical objects. And then it becomes more abstract as you go on. This is my sense of direction, this is my sense of the future, this is my sense of who I am, this is my sense of the people that I connect with, this is my sense of more and more ever becoming complex spheres of what it means to be you and to exist as you. And here's where the thing of nudity as multiple levels comes in. When you remove all of these things that you understand yourself to be, you become more naked, you become more vulnerable, you become someone that is far more authentic because you uncover that thing that's inside. There is something that is inside that is your essence, that is beyond all of this stuff that has been put onto you through cultural conditioning, through psychological manipulation in the informational sphere, through upbringing, through relationships, through your own biological forces that are working within you, your desires and your striving to survive. And what that is, that essence is unique unto you. It's quite tricky to say what it is. It's quite tricky to say how it will appear for you. Because it does appear in a solid, tangible way, like it comes out in gestures, it comes out in comments, it comes out in little quotes that you come up with, right? In a sense, this idea of acid quotes, that's me touching into my soul or my essence, right? When it's really resonating, when I find a quote that really hits true and it really makes me laugh, then I know it's tapping into my essence, my authenticity. And this is also, of course, related to psychedelic consciousness. Psychedelic consciousness is an expression of this essence that you have within you. So when you do Mystic Rose, when you do an awareness intensive like Mystic Rose, you work with people in the group in a behavioral way to remove these things. And just to make it a tangible example, in the first week of Mystic Rose, you will be laughing each session for 3 hours. So that behavioral vice, or it's not exactly a vice, it's a mechanism, right? To just laugh continuously. That is threaded through all of the interactions that you have with the people within the group, right? So someone sees you laughing when you're in a certain position. Someone sees you laughing when you're thinking a certain thing. Someone sees you laughing when they are doing a certain thing. They see you laughing when you are feeling a certain thing. And all of these levels are continuously changing, right? You might be thinking about the past and laughing. You might be reliving trauma and laughing. You might be wondering what other people are thinking and laughing. You might be completely self-absorbed and laughing. And of course, you see that in them, right? You see the laughter and you wonder and sense, well, what exactly is going on in them that is able to be connected to or wanting to sort of flow between us, right? Because you can see within yourself that the same mechanisms that are unfolding are also happening in someone else. And that comes back to this age-old, timeless truth that you can only see within yourself as much as you can see in someone else. Or rather, you should say, you can only see within someone else as much as you see within yourself. So Mystic Rose is a very powerful process for removing these layers and becoming more and more naked. And what ends up happening is you become completely nude, right? You find your utter nudity. And of course, you might even still have you're going to still even have your clothes on, right? Nudity doesn't just mean taking your clothes off. It means really taking off that mask, that facade, that thing that you put out, hoping that people will like you. You put it out hoping that no one will guess that, oh, you really are insecure and unsure about yourself. You put it out hoping that no one's going to actually see the real you because of how terrible that would be and how unaccepting that would be. Whereas in Mystic Rose, of course, you learn to accept that in yourself and also in others. And it's wild, right? Mystic Rose, laughing for 3 hours straight. Not many people could say they've done that. It's pretty wild. So that's why nudity has multiple levels. And this quote, of course, as always, is available on Acid Quote Tees. Now in collaboration with Acid Quote Tees. It's great to be a part of this journey of life. I hope you're having a beautiful day. We're going to wrap it up. Stay cozy, stay cute, continue the journey. This fine old world, this big blue ball, keeps on happening. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. Life is a roller coaster, baby. Just ride it. Stay safe, stay beautiful. See ya.